One.
You don't know how this will go, right? So, Jake, it is a privilege and an honor to obviously be hosting this call with you. And I just love the familyship of what we've created here, and just to come together to bring more value to the team. What we've done here, it's not a me thing. What you've done is not a you thing. It takes a whole village of visionaries to create something massive, right? Especially when it comes to what you just said, influence, because I believe there's a lot of people here on the line, Jake, that are seeking influence, that do want to speak in front of people, that do want to be known, that, do want to see the recognition, that, do want to build a huge following and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the word sale, is when everything stops, right? And I believe that a lot of people here on the line don't like this word, and that's okay. That is totally okay. I didn't like it either. But at the end of the day, when I realized that, and we're selling 24/7, Jake. I mean, I'm selling my son every single day on why he should be eating his broccoli and asparagus and spinach and all of those things, and I was having conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were telling me I don't like to sell, and I'm like, you've been selling me for the past 5 minutes on what you don't like doing, and I'm almost bought into it, right? So I think it really comes down to your self-image. Self-image has a lot to do with the perception of how you look into sales, and it's we're going to teach you how to sell yourself and how to build the influence because of this environment. Obviously, if it wasn't for this environment, you and I wouldn't be where we are today. Obviously, it is a God thing, but we took the opportunity, because God only moves when we move. Right? God only moves when we move. So, I will pass it over to you, Jake. I'm really excited about, what we're creating, where this team is going, moving forward in the next 6 months. I believe we've got, 7 months, until the rest of this year. And no matter where you are in life today, you can definitely change your results if you make a decision today. And we're going to teach you how to build that massive influence that people will buy anything and everything you sell. Pretty much like if you invent a gum, they're going to buy it, right? So, Jake, I'm really excited. I believe that this is a topic that everybody here on the line needs to hear more, learn more, implement more. And if you're excited, I want you to put 8 in the chat. Right? The idea, it's Jake's idea today. I messaged him this morning when he reached out to me, and I'm like, what are we talking about? He said sales and influence. And I'm like, I love it. Let's go. So I'm excited. You can kick it off.
Yeah, it is a very important subject, because a lot of people they turn away what could be a really fulfilling life because of they have a really a different I'm not going to say the right or wrong. I'm going to say a different perception on what selling really is. You said that you sold your son on eating veg. It's another word for leadership. John Maxwell says that everything rises and falls on leadership, and he says that leadership is nothing more than influence. Right? So selling, I think if everyone really understands what me and Desi are going to talk about in today's call, you're going to be taking a lot more action. Okay, a lot more action. Drop a yes in the chat if you think that you are the type of person that likes to help people. Okay. That likes to actually help people. Right. So Bob Proctor knows and says all the time that selling is doing something for a person. Okay. It's actually doing something for a person. I believe this call is going to help you get over the that nasty word procrastination, and the mindset of when you're reaching out to people and you're in business and you talk to people and you're thinking about what they think about you. Maybe a lot of you, I believe, ask questions, and I can tell the reason that you've asked that question is because you're thinking about getting something from those people. versus giving something to them. The reason why the professionals in this industry move on the fastest and the whatever decision they get, yes or no, so not just the no's, yes or no, we understand that our responsibility is only to give. Desi, can you agree with me?
100%.
So our responsibility, go on.
Empty plates can't feed hungry people.
Exactly. And that's what I'm going to get into. I'm going to get into this right now. So our responsibility is to give, right? Like Desi just said, you can't give what you have not got, right? A lot of you right now would actually on the last call that me and Desi did, but you haven't shared any of the information with anyone in your network. You've kept it all to yourself. You've met family members, you've met friends since that last call that me and Desi did, and you didn't say anything about it. It's because of your perception of selling. You don't want to come across like you're the sleazy salesman. You still want to get invited to Christmas parties and all that, right? And I promise you, everything comes down to your perception and your intention behind the words that you're saying. Okay. So the key to selling, obviously, is selling yourself. But I'm gonna give you something which is a bit of a frequency thing, because I never forget, Desi, when I was working with Linda Proctor, we was in Toronto, and I looked across because someone asked me a question earlier today. They said, how do I get like more sold on what we do? Right? How do we get more? How can I get more sold on it? And I said, it's actually a really good question. Right? Really good question. And I said, I'll share the experience when I looked at Linda Proctor when we was in Toronto, and she was so excited about this industry. When she was talking about this industry, she was lighting up. Her energy just lifted, and she was talking about all the people that she was going to help. And I never understood business, Desi. I never understood network marketing. I never understood, how this type of business works or anything like that. And what I was doing was I was making the mistake that most people make, and I was actually waiting for the excitement to hit me. I was waiting for the right thoughts and the right emotions for me to be excited about what we have. I looked over at Lynn and I thought, do you know what? Maybe because she's, multi-millionaire, right? Maybe, she's attracted Bob Proctor, right? She's done pretty well, right? Maybe I need to just decide to be excited.
Right.
Jim Rohn says to be enthusiastic, you have to be enthusiastic. You might want to write that down. To be confident, you have to be confident. Just decide to be confident. It takes courage though. But Desi, I know for a fact that you've said things in the past and that you did not know how what you've just said was going to manifest, but you believed in you believed in the universal laws, you believed in words create. And I want you to sort of give your perception on what I've just shared when it comes to the words and just everything I've just shared so far. That
is really good. I'm going to tap into what you just said from a different angle. Because, you and I both work with a lot of people, different personalities, different paradigms, different self-images, right? And I do believe that everything starts and ends with our self-image. And, I want to ask everybody this question, right? You only have one life. And life is basically, your life is happening today. You're living it today, right now, right? This is all you have. Right this moment. It's 3:17 here in the United States. I'm in the DMV area. And my next question to you guys is going to be, how do you really want to live? Right? Maybe you want to write this down. Maybe that can be a homework for you guys after this call, right? And the reason why I say it is going to be a homework, because if you don't do it, nothing will ever change. I believe, Jake, most of the times we focus on what doesn't work instead of what works. I was literally having this conversation with somebody this morning. Few people. What you should focus on is, how do you really want to live? And you're going to walk away from that scarcity mindset, from, the perception of the word that you have for selling right now, right? And you're going to focus on the person that you really want to become. That millionaire, daily or weekly or monthly or yearly, whatever it is that you want to become. But you're going to have to change that image that you have in your subconscious mind, that, you've been programmed in a certain way from the very first day that you were born, right? And I believe that that was the biggest thing for me, Jake, that changed, obviously, by working with Bob, by working with Darren, being around Darren and Darren constantly, smacking my paradigm, smacking my self-image, giving me this rough mentorship. Because your self-image changes immediately once you, like Jake said, you decide, once you make that decision. Because living in the way that you're living right now, I bet it's terrible. 2.5 years ago, I was miserable. I was not happy with the results that I was having, and yes, I do wanted to make more money. That meant that I needed to provide more service. It meant that I needed to build a bigger influence. It meant that I needed to put myself in a different environment. It meant that I needed to become more valuable to the marketplace. Your self-image, though, your current self-image dictates literally everything you do. The way you dress, the way you walk, the way you think, the moods that you're in every single day. You're waking up every single day with a choice to create. But remember, right? Today's your masterpiece. All you have is today. Imagine if, I want you to know, if all you had was today, Jake. My breaking point was when my son was diagnosed with brain tumor. This is my drive daily. Right? It's very dear to me. Obviously, I only see the best outcome, but it's my drive daily, because that was a reminder that, hey, I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow, so I might as well take this day and execute on all opportunities that are presented to me. When you become the creator today, you will be able to sell yourself in front of any and everybody that you meet. And it's going to be a game changer. It's not, going towards, it's growing into that person that you said that you're going to become when you got started with us.
Desi, it's crazy how you just said that. Like, I have said that today. So I've lost count. I've lost count of how many people have said that today. When you said you don't even know if tomorrow's going to come. Like, I've said this to, like, literally, if you've spoke to me today, you've probably heard me say that to you. Like, because it's becoming more and more apparent to me this year that if you have one successful day times 7, that's a successful week. If you have 4 successful weeks, that's a successful month. 12 successful months is a successful year. One successful year will change your whole life. I know this firsthand. For those that know me personally, my life has changed completely in 12 months. I know, Desi, yours did the exact same thing.
Yes.
And still does. So, like, if every day was like a lemon, you got to squeeze all of the juice out of each and every day. And what happens is you're going to get so far ahead of not even the masses. I mean, that's of course, you're going to get so far ahead of the people that, I mean, you go from the 5% club to the 1% club. You really do. When you take it day by day, it's self-mastery. And I want to touch on as well what you said, Desi. I'm taking notes as you're talking, because I like to, like, because you get thoughts, right? You can act like a millionaire before you think like one. How? Because you're working with millionaires. Meaning, if you do what the mentors in this organization tell you to do, You do realize you're acting like a millionaire.
Right.
The problem is,
I need you to repeat that because some didn't hear it. What he just said.
I'm telling you right now, don't let this go over your head. Like when I add into a calculator, Desi, and I want to when I add into a calculator 2 plus 2, I don't hover over the equal sign all nervous and, I'm like, what's it going to equal?
Right.
I know it's going to equal 4. So if I do what millionaires do, say what they say, in my mind, guys, I mean, call me crazy. In my mind, I'm going to have what they have. So whenever my mentor, who right now is literally traveling around the world with I'm not going to say, with some certain people, when he gives me a command, I'm like, oh yes, I'm more scared not to do it than actually to do it. Because of the love that I have for my family. I'm like, he just gave me another thing to do. That means that when I do it, because it doesn't make sense to me, of course, because I can't see what he can see. But if my mentors told me to do that, then by me doing it, I'm going to realize why I've just taken that step. It says lean not on your own understanding. If you look at the word leaning is a movement. You have to move on someone else's understanding. Someone asked me a question. I think she may even be on the line. Jake, I'm not sure what decision to make. I said, of course not. You've never earned the income that you just told me you wanted. What I do is I go to my mentor and say, mentor, what decision shall I make? Because if you go to the person in the mirror, you're going to keep getting the person in the mirror's results. It's like, you ever saw, my dog does it all the time. She chases her own tail. And that's how most people live their life, because they're asking themselves and they're trying to find the decision. You go to someone who is winning and say, what shall I do? That's why I love enrolling people in this business. And they say to me, well, what package do you think I should get started on? Right? I'm like, that's a great question. That's a really good question. This package, what do you think my first steps are? That's how you become a good mentee. You want to get fast results. What do you think I should do? To your mentor, what do you think what do you think? Because when you have a mentor, Desi, you don't have to really think.
No.
That's why I love what we do so much. Because if I was on my own, I'd be doing a lot of thinking, man, and thinking, is this the right step? I don't know. I mean, it says it in this book, but I can't speak to Napoleon Hill because it's been passed away for so many years now. So I'm just guessing. I'm hoping that it's I've got the correct perception of that paragraph. Where in this business, I can go to someone and say, what should my next step be? And I can do it with zero doubt, zero unbelief. If I choose to doubt now, I mean, why would you do that? It's like, this is really, really a key thing to selling. Because when you understand who you're working with and the environment that you're in, you should all be able to look at the person, any person's face, look them right in the eyes and lock eye contact and tell them, get started today and watch what happens with your life. People want to be led. They want direction. We've had direction since we were born by our parents. We then went into school and got direction from our teachers. We then went into further education and got directed by our professors. Then we got directed by a boss. We want direction. We're not programmed on how to make decisions. We need people to make convicted decisions for us. I know how Desi speaks to her people. I can feel it. And I guess you all can feel it too. Join me and watch what happens. So I don't teach people how to get sold on the company. I'm like, are you sold on you? Can you give yourself a command and follow it? Not every time. That's probably why you can't give other people commands, and when you do, they don't follow it either. So when you say, let's get you started, they don't follow it. They got questions. Why? Because when you tell you to get out of bed at this time, to not snooze the alarm, to go to the gym, to eat clean, to put this amount of minutes into your business, you can't even do it yourself. Because we attract who we are, you see. There's clues everywhere. Desi, I know you got something to say on that.
Yeah. I want to go back to what he said in the beginning, right? When we say just do exactly what we tell you to do, right? And the way you put it was genius, right? I love what you just said. You said, listen to the millionaires because you want to become one. And this is the people that you're listening to here, right? And that goes for everybody here that's brand new, that has been here for 5, 6 a year, and it still hasn't clicked. And they're still asking themselves the question, why am I not a millionaire yet? And what I see, Jake, is that most people are blaming the outside circumstances and they play the victim side. But I want you guys to know that we're not victims, right? We attract everything in our life, right? We are creative beings. It comes from us, and the law of attraction brings it to us, right? It comes from us. We are releasing it, and the law of attraction brings it back to us, right? It's that's how it works. It's very simple. We call this creation. So based on what Jake was saying, I'm going to ask you the next question. Do you think you are ready to receive it? If you're ready to receive it, if the answer is yes, right? Why do you keep affirming what you don't want?
I had someone today, and he said, Jake, I'm messaging people and they're not responding to me. I said, why would you choose that frequency? Why would you choose that frequency? I don't choose struggle.
Yeah, right.
I don't choose struggle. And the fact that it's coming out of your mouth, that means that must be in your heart. That means you've been thinking about it a lot. I think about what I want. And every time Bob says we can choose, accept, reject, every time a thought that is not in alignment with who I'm becoming comes into my mind, I kick it out and I reaffirm what's actually what I should be thinking. This is what Darren has taught me in Desi. I know it. Darren is a professional thinker. You can't accidentally attract the lifestyle that Mr. Gibson has. He's a professional thinker. And that's what me and Desi have learned the most from our mentor. Because the thinking teaches the skills. You'll know the RAS, it's the reticular activating system. Like Holton Buggs calls it the #1 executive assistant in the world. All we have to do is control our thoughts. The reticular activating system goes to work for us. Desi, go left, go right, talk to that person, reach out to that person, do this, invest in that. Like we get all the directions, which is why it's actually quite difficult for us to articulate how to hit goals, which is why most of our subjects are about mindset. And it's not motivation. I pray every day for my group and every group, and in fact, everyone that I meet, because we're all God's highest form of creation. I'm like, I just hope that people take this information seriously. I was in the airport and I'm looking at the bookshop in the airport, and everyone's there like taking a break from reality / going on holiday. And all these books are available to everyone. And I'm like, it's crazy. There should be a queue outside the bookstore, man. Like, I mean, I was thinking, should I buy that book again? Like, I just love, I'm just like I'm just that, like, because it's like finding the cheat codes to life. Right. But you get what I'm saying about why would you choose that frequency? Mm-hmm. Hey man, I'm struggling with, hang on a minute, why would you choose that? Like, diamonds don't think that way. Really think about what you're thinking about. Really think about it, because the words that you're using tell your mentor what frequency you're on.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Like if you were listening to R&B and all of a sudden a random rock and roll song came on, that's going to be very obvious. Hey man, that's on the wrong frequency. Well, guess what? When you're on the right frequency, it's very obvious who isn't. It's very obvious. which is why having a mentor is so, so important, because I know that a lot of people really, read a lot of these books. They do a lot of the books, all the audios, all these courses and stuff. But one conversation, and I'm like, oh, no wonder nothing's changed just yet. You're still speaking poverty.
Mm-hmm.
You got to change the way you think. That's not expensive. It is though. I mean, if it may be for you.
It may.
Yeah. I tell you what.
If you don't, it can cost you your whole life.
It's right. If do you know what? Do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? Rich. Okay, cool. Okay, let's change then. Let go. Let go. Desi, man. It's 100% our choice. Like Desi just said, it's 100% our choice. And energy always comes home. I love what you just said about energy. Like, we attract literally everything. Life's a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And leaders like that. Like, I like the fact that life is a mirror. It tells you exactly where you're at. There's no guesswork. I'm not in victim mode. This is go on.
In everything and anything, not just in business, not just when it comes to your finances, not when it comes to your health, not only when it comes to your, relationships. I mean, literally every single area of your life. They say how you do one thing is how you do everything. This is very, very true. Right. So, I love what you just said, because I've been having the same, how the newbies are coming in this, and, they're searching Google, hey, look at what just came. And I'm like, why are you even sending me this? All right. Yeah. Oh, I don't believe in it. I love what he just said. You don't believe in it. Then why are you sending it to me if you don't believe in it? Right. I told my team, Jake, I'm going to be very honest with you. Yesterday, I said, the reason why I don't respond to many of you is because of the message that you sent me. I wake up every single morning at 4. And, obviously, I do respond at 4 to the ones that are not negative.
Mm.
So there were 4 or 5 people this morning that I woke up to extremely positive messages. And I'm like, imagine if you did that every single day, what vibration you were going to be on daily. What things are you going to attract in order for you to build that, influence? Because if you said that you want to build an influence, well, who would follow you if you were negative all the time? Would you follow me or Jake if we were negative? Would you follow Darren if he was negative? That is something that each and every one of you has to ask yourself that question.
I did a call in my group yesterday, and I said to him, I'm a little bit disappointed. It's being very real. I said, we had about, I don't know, I lost count how many people got started yesterday. And I said, there was only, I'd say 7 to 10% of you that put the word welcome inside the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you not welcoming the new members and congratulating the people that have gone brick house and achieving all this? How are you not congratulating, but you're expecting to be congratulated? How are you not welcoming, but you're expecting to welcome people?
Mm-hmm. By
you not doing that, the small stuff, it's so obvious because it's making sense, guys. Like, it's the small stuff.
It is.
Like, you're clearly focused on the negative. I'm looking at Dan right now, what's happening, and Desi, with this whole this group, and I'm like, man, I am so excited for you. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so proud to be and grateful to be with you, during this period of your career. Like, I'm happy for people's success, because do you know why? I'm happy for my success. I wrote this down. Guys, here's how you get and you stay on the frequency. This is what I do. Is I wake up every day and I write out my daily gratitude / vision in present tense.
Mm-hmm.
I do this every single morning. After now I feed my baby, right? Let's change a little bit. So as I'm feeding my baby, I've got the lifestyle, the videos on my TV, and then I write my gratitude in present tense, and I create my new. I get myself onto the frequency. that I need to be on all day. This is who I am. This is how I live. This is how I feel. These are my relationships. This is what my body looks like. These are all the people in my organization that have achieved certain goals and all this. That's the frequency I'm on. And I'm like, well, and then so anything else, Desi, that does not add up to what I've just wrote down, in my eyes, is false. It's an illusion, because my reality is actually in my imagination. My reality is actually what I write down. And it takes some time. I'm not saying everyone's just going to get it like this, but it does. Like for me, like if you do this every day, guys, every single day, I promise you, like you have to do it every day though. True. Like when I first started to receive mentorship, I got given a task to read the chapter Decision in Think and Grow Rich for 30 days. And if I missed one chapter, I'd have to start the whole 30 days over again.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to do that with your gratitude, guys. You write out your daily gratitude every day. Like I promise you are now living in fantasy world. The what's going on in physical is just not, it's not actually what's going on. And you start to walk like, talk like, act like, you have courage, like, speak like the person that you wrote down every day. And what starts to happen is, as you're writing, you're realizing you're going to have to start changing it, because you're looking up and it's actually in your life.
That is,
yeah, and you no longer need it. You no longer you no longer feel like you have to write it down, because it's you've already got it.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget when me and Altay were backstage in Dubai, and I took a photo of him holding diamond. He took a photo of me holding diamond, and I had it set as my wallpaper for about 1 month. And then I took it down because I thought, hang on a minute, I'm on the wrong frequency. Why would a diamond have a photo of himself holding a shield? That's cringy. I'm not gonna, like, I'm already diamond. I completely changed my wallpaper. Hit diamond. You get what I'm saying, guys? Like it's a. So you have, yes, okay, you have to first see it, but I promise you do over and over again. You're gonna start to feel like you have it before you have it, if that makes sense. The word receive, the first 2 letters in that word is re. You're receiving it, meaning you've already received it. Now you're receiving it. Receive is to have. You're re-having it when you actually receive it physically. You have to accept it and then receive it. But this call's about selling, Desi. So can we talk about selling, please?
Let's do it.
No, but for real, like you get what I'm saying. This is, guys, this is what me and Desi are saying right now. This is how we think. So selling is normal because we know where we're going as people. Darren says, when you find the vision finds the people. Write that down, guys. When you find the vision, it's the vision that finds the people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and right now we have a very solid system. So for your guest on the line, we have a very solid system that we can teach you brick by brick, literally, and you can choose your income. You can actually choose your income, and you have a clear roadmap on how to achieve it.
Can I just say something based on what you just said?
Yeah.
I'm just going to give an analogy, all right? Because there's a lot of people here on the line that are working a job.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake, I've been blessed. I've never worked a corporate or government job. I've had few jobs like a bartender, waitress. I've done this a long time ago, right? 11 years ago. So I don't even know how it feels. But I know people have to fight and work for years to get a little bitty tiny promotion, or they're going against other coworkers, sort of competition, so they can get this $2 raise. All right. And what Jake just said here is you are choosing your income. It's not me choosing it for you. It's not Jake choosing it for you. Goes back to the creation. You are the creator. When at work, you're told what your worth is. Here, this will show you only based on everything that Jake just said, But I'm always also going to add, you can do all those things. They're amazing. But if you sit all day long and just and you ask yourself why these affirmations are not working, is because you're not doing the work. Right? You know, because you can be doing the affirmations every morning, every night, and then the rest of the day going into the negative, researching, you know, these are what we call the broke activities. You know, Bob used to tell us, take your broke activities out of your schedule and replace them with the ones that will lead you to your goal. So in order for you to build influence, right? Influence, you're going to have to go out there and connect with people. First of all, you're going to have to become a problem solver for yourself. If you can't solve your own problems, right? Because there's a lot of people, I know that there's people that come to you, Jake, that are asking you for a solution. There's people that come to me and they ask me for a solution. I don't give anybody solutions. I used to. I make you think now. And let's see, the answer is already within you, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you become a problem solver for yourself, going through the process, you know, growing through the process, not going through the process, growing through the process, you start stacking some wins. You know, by you getting one win and then the next win and then the third and the fourth, now your confidence is on a whole new level, right? Now your posture will be on a whole new level. Every single time you step in front of somebody, you can be like, just join me or watch me make it with or without you. Because I love what he just said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who follows me. I literally just said this to my leaders yesterday. I said, I don't care. I love you all. I really do. Right? I really do love deeply each and every one of you. I have a mad love for my team, but I don't care if you follow me. If that makes sense, does it make sense? Because I know I'm going to find the people that will do it with me. It's already done. It's already being created, like Jake just said.
Well, you can't put any emotion into anyone else's actions,
right?
Apart from your own. Like we can't control anyone. We can only control us. So we have to understand that when we attract who we are. So by you focusing on becoming a winner, you're going to attract winners. That's what happens. Winners attract winners. Like whenever Desi talks, I can just like take off my conscious mind and just let her pour into. I can relax around Desi. I really can, because I mean I'd happily attract her results. So and what? So when Desi says she doesn't care if you follow, the reason why is because she's focusing on what she can control. She doesn't spend any energy. She's got no energy leaks. And by you not doing what you said you was going to do, you're going to regret that. And that regret is an energy leak. And your subconscious mind is like this, Desi. I tell this to my group all the time. Your subconscious mind is taking notes on everything you do. You can't hide nothing from your subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't pay off that karmic debt yourself, you'll see a delay in results. You'll see life hit you in the face and all this, because that's just how it works. That's just how it works.
That's very deep.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, man, but it's that's just how it works. And that's the key. That's it. You know, self mastery. When you master you,
mm-hmm. Asking for more experience, right? Asking to build that awareness so you can solve more problems, because eventually that will lead to having influence over people, right? Becoming that leader.
Yeah, that's what I was
telling
gonna say.
People to follow you. Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say. Someone asked me a question: How do I improve my communication? By talking to people, by communicating. Yes, okay, you can read books on it. Yes, okay, you can jump on these calls, but you messing up, you going out there and just talking to as many people as possible. You get to know how to motivate people. You get to the more people you speak to, you kind of know how to sell people. You know how to sell. Oh, this person, all I got to do is touch on this, and they'll be in. All I got to do is press this, and they'll be in. Right? Selling is. I never forget when I actually met Mike Jex at the Matrix in 2018, and he was like, he let me try his Rolex on and that, And he said, selling's simple, Jake. When people are talking to you, imagine you've got a bucket and you just hold and you're taking in all the, and then what you do is you just chuck it back on them. Hey man, you remind me of me. I wanted X, Y, Z, found this, and now I have this. It sounds simple as I'm saying it. Most people won't know what you're doing when you are intentionally helping people get what they want. It's influence. It's positive manipulation. You're manipulating people to get what they want. I know manipulation's a bad word, whatever it is, but think about it. It's psychology. This is what you learn. You know, when people pay like those, I know, you know, Desi, me and you and Darren, we've all invested a lot of money into ourselves when it comes to Bob Proctor's teachings and stuff. When Bob Proctor teaches about selling, he is all in. He talks about how to remove the conscious mind, how to get into the subconscious mind, what to say, the different facial things, right? Like it's deep. You have to know how to get the conscious mind out the way. And the way you do that is by tapping into their emotional side.
Right.
Like Darren knows how to get me going. Darren knows how to get Desi going. I know how to get some of my leaders going. The more I know you, the more I can grow you. So I like to hang around people, Desi, that are very good at selling. I never used to do it. I never used to qualify people to come and hang around me. I used to be just so like, yeah, man, just come and hang around me, whatever it is. Right. Now I'm like, no, they have to have, you have to be in the brick house. You have to have at least 10 customers, one left, one right. Why? Because of the frequency.
Right.
Because of the frequency. You have to be a certain level of sold. And you can all get there. Like, it's so simple. The expectation is 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
How would you do it if, and I said, and this is deep, man. I like to say things that like, not rub people up the wrong way, but say things that really make people think, man. Because most people don't say this sort of stuff. You have to I'll go to the extreme. Like, think of someone you love the most. Imagine they got put in prison today, right? And the only way you could bail them out is by you going brick house. How long is it going to take you? Like, the only way you can bail them out of prison, the only way, guys, is by you going brick house. I want you to let me know in the chat. Like, let me know in the chat right now. How long would it take you to go brick house if the person you love the most got put in prison today? And the only way, 2 days, 5, right? Like, I want you to think about this. Like, really think about it. And I want you to really think about the answer that you put. Because do you know what, guys? You know, when you go there mentally, Bob Proctor talks about in the You Were Born Rich seminar, where he talks about, for those that listen to that, you know, when Bob and Linda, that they mess up in the bathroom and they break the shower, and Linda says to him, do you know, that's the only time most people get creative, when their back's right up against the corner.
Right.
People wait for a disaster before they act.
Mm-hmm.
What if you constructed the disaster mentally? I'm telling you right now, think of the answer. See, everyone's put tomorrow. Now, why not bail yourself out of financial prison? Why not bail yourself out of prison right now and get it done? Get it done. This is how we think. It's life or death with us. It is with me anyway. I can't speak on behalf of Desi. But with me, I'm like, if I don't get it done by, like, I am willing to put money in, sell things, like not sleep. Like, I'm all in. When I make a decision, I'm all in. I rang Darren. I was like, Darren, so you think I should do this? Yeah. Boom, that's it. That's all I need to hear. You have to think that way, guys. And you can actually use that to sell your prospects too. I never forget, I was at an event, Desi, and there was a guy here with his partner, and they were like kind of new together, right? And he was like, Joe, bro, I'd really like to get started, just haven't got the money. I said, You love your partner, right? He's like, yeah, of course. I said, she gets put in prison tonight. How are you going to find the money to bail her out? He got started. Now he quit straight away, but do you think I cared? Nope. I closed them. I got, yes, yeah, because I'm getting good at selling. Does that make sense? I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it. Like I said to my group last night, you got to be a little bit more aggressive with people, with yourself first, and then obviously with people, but not, I wouldn't say aggressive. I'd say assertive. Be assertive. Ask questions that, I say things like, when they say, I'm struggling, I just wish I could get started, but I haven't got the money. I ask, how old are you? Okay. I let them sit with that for a while, and then I go, okay, so how does it feel that you're this age and you don't have the money for your family's freedom? How does that make you feel?
Right.
Okay, cool. Because what happens is this: I'm not interested in making friends. I'm interested in helping people. I really
That's
am.
what you just said. All right. That was really big.
Like I told Darren that I went to Darren Desi when in the first year building this business, and I was like, oh, I can't, no one's showing up, da, da, da. And Darren was like, just quit. He just told me to quit, and I'm like, hang on a minute, this guy really doesn't care about me, being around him or anything like that, but he really actually wants to help me because he just tells me the truth.
Right.
You want to be careful with associating with people who allow you to be average. I know for a fact that me and Desi, we pull people up to our standards. But if our standards are low to the flow, right, we have to make sure that we've got high standards first. And then we're really excited for anyone that's willing to come with us. Should we take maybe one or two questions?
Yeah, I just want to share something before we do though.
Yeah.
Based on what you're just saying, just to give a different perspective. This is what I tell my teams, telling it's an art. It's like you're becoming an artist. All right. What you're basically doing is, because the other person doesn't know what a better lifestyle means. The other person doesn't know what more income means. The other person doesn't know what more time freedom means, right? The other person doesn't know what more travel means. So you have to actively listen, not what you think you should sell them on, right? But actively listen. You're listening with your heart, like Bob used to tell us, right? You're hearing with your ears and you're listening with your heart. And you're going into their subconscious and painting. You got to learn, again, you got to learn how to paint the picture for them. And like Jake said, you're getting them emotionally involved into this idea. And once again, once they do join this business or this environment, you're going to have to continue on reselling them on their, goal and their idea, because paradigm will trick you plenty of times. It's that's just how it is. You haven't spent enough time with your goal. You haven't made, like Darren says, you haven't made enough love to your goal, but you've been living this miserable life. So this is all you know, right? So it is a skill that you have to learn, and you will only learn through more reps. Just like I'm not, Jake, I gave somebody this morning this analogy, right? Because somebody called me and they said, hey, let's talk to this person. They just came back from Prague, and, and I'm like, I don't care. I need to see action in order for me to talk to this person. I'm not talking to somebody just to get them motivated. Show me that you want it, and then I will invest my time into you. All right. So I told that person, I said, hey, look, I believe, and this is not, to beat you guys. But what's robbing you is you comparing yourself to me, Jake, or any of the leaders, but you don't really know what it took us to get here. You've only seen me here for 2.5 years, but you don't know for the last 11 years what my life looked like, right? So all of those years add, onto this journey here with this team. Now, Jake, what I said was I gave him the analogy when it comes to your body, your metabolism, and genetics, right? They play a huge role. So if you're brand new to what we do here, you're brand new to this information, you haven't done enough reps, you haven't heard this information over and over again, you haven't acted on it, right? This is why you're not gaining the muscle, right? This is why you're not maybe losing fat. I told him, I know my body so well, Jake, that I know that if I decide to compete, maybe a year from now, I need to start prep now. And I got to be on a strict diet. I have to be on a strict plan. I have to be on a strict sleep schedule so I can, start prepping next year this time. That's just the way my body works. But I've studied my body for the past 10 years, right? Versus, let's say, Darren, right? Or somebody, or Tierra, or you, I don't know, whoever has a fast metabolism. Maybe I can eat junk all day long and drink. And then next minute you decide you're going to go on a diet and you're going to be ripped and obviously diet, you're going to be ripped in 2 months. Right? So it's the same thing with what we do here. It will click for some faster than others. We're going to end up doing the same type of work. The same type of work. Right?
It's the same price. Yeah, it's the same price, but everyone's got different currency.
Yeah, right. So you just got to hold that picture. It's like, Jake, if I know I'm going to, not if I know I'm going to look this way, that's why I'm going to stick to the plan every single day, despite of what I'm seeing in the mirror daily. But
I hope everyone just got that. That's the key, man. But people, this is what I wanted to say earlier. People doubt that, Desi, and that's what I hope, that I'm praying that everyone on the line just takes what we're saying right now. Because there's no notes. There's no notes. Like we're talking from the heart right now. Like, trust in the plan. Trust in what works. Be here 1 year from now. Be 100%. Be here 1 year from now, taking action. Don't just be a member at the gym that doesn't train for 1 year. Take daily action every day for 1 year. And I promise you right now, you will be at a whole new level of awareness. Mm-hmm. You really will. And like Desi just said perfectly, everyone's got a different past, a different price that they have to pay. We've all got different karmic debt to pay off. This is the real deal. So should we take a question?
Sure.
2 questions. Any questions? Put an I in the chat if you got a question for me or Desi. You have to share your screen. Eva. 2 seconds. There you go.
Hi, thank you for this amazing call. It's been really, really mind-blowing. Jake, could you explain what you mean? I think I know what you mean, but I think also a few people don't really understand what karmic debt means.
Yeah. So basically it's, karma, right? Karma is when you do something and, cause and effect. And what's happened is a lot of us have had stinking thinking, and like Desi talked about, broke habits, income reducing habits in our life versus income producing habits, and, negative things like negative desires. And we've done bad things to people because, once you wake up to the universal laws, that you can't hurt anyone because you're only hurting yourself, right? A lot of us have done a lot, we've stacked up a lot of negative stuff. We have. And we've built up this big ball of negative energy. It could be, and it doesn't have to be negative, guys. It's just a ball of energy that is not in alignment with who you want to be. For me, in my family, very working class, didn't really have much money at all. So that ball of that everything's expensive, money's the root of all evil, that got very big for me. I had to burn off that karmic debt. It's a debt that you have to pay off. Like right now, Eva, I do this thing where if I don't do what I'm supposed to do on a daily basis, I have to do 75 burpees.
You have to do what?
75 burpees. They're like, it's like an extra, you can YouTube it, burpees, they're horrible basically. But what I'm saying is I fear God. I fear the subconscious mind. I have to pay I have to hold my hand up and say, you know what? I'm aware that I messed up. What most people do is they mess up and they go, no one saw anyway. No one saw. It's okay. I'll get away with that. No, you don't get away with anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing some curls today in the gym, and I could do more reps, so I did them. You know, the old me didn't do them. But your subconscious mind knows. The punishment used to be 50 burpees, and then I got up and I thought that wasn't that hard. I need to do 75. Karmic that you have to pay the price, guys. You have to. Why do we discipline our children, but then we get to a certain level and then we don't discipline ourselves anymore? So we can just slack off. We can be average, but our children get told off for not being nice. But we can be naughty all day. Are those the rules now? We can smoke, we can drink, we can be lazy, we can snooze the alarm, we can do all this negative stuff. We don't get any punishment. They get no. That's now it's going down in my house. Like, how dare I even go to my son with anything if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do? And if you don't know what if you don't know what you're supposed to do every day, go to your mentor and say, what are 2 or 3 habits? If I want to look like this, be like this, earn this amount of income in this business, what are 2 or 3 habits that I have to do on a daily basis? You haven't got to overcommit, right? It depends how fast you want to grow. We can all grow. Trust me, like Desi just said, if she wanted to get in good shape, she knows exactly instantly to cut out everything. But it's going to be very uncomfortable. The more you sacrifice in a shorter period of time, the more uncomfortable it's going to be, for sure, right? But you go to your mentor and say, what are 2 or 3 daily non-negotiables that I have to do? And then you do them. And if you don't do them, you have to own up to it, because it's self-mastery also equals self-honesty. You have to pay off that karmic debt, because you will pay it off. But you can be the one that decides the punishment versus life smacking you in the face. That's how I see it anyway. Now, don't forget, everyone's got different beliefs. That belief served me well.
Just to follow up on that, would you say that some people are not aware of where they are actually in karmic depths?
Examples like Desi just said, examples of, I see, really good people showing up every single day. They're on, the cameras on, they're doing the work, but maybe they're not getting the results just yet. I'm thinking, man, they've just got a big ball of karmic debt that they're burning off. Like the first 2 years in this business, in life in general, when I woke up to personal growth, I mean, I was listening to audios and reading books, like it was like non-stop. I'm still like it today, really, but I'm talking like it was like psychopathic. I'd be on the tube in London reading and listening to audiobooks. So I'll be reading a book and listening to a different book. Like every night when I was sleeping, I'll be, it's just constant. If a film came out between 2018 and 2020, I wouldn't know about it. I didn't know what was going on in the outside. All my family was. I mean, my mom came around multiple times crying. My nan, everyone's in my family have cried about my growth journey. I promise you. They literally thought I just completely lost the plot, and they were right. But I didn't lose my mind. I found my mind. You see, that's what happened. I actually found my mind. So I wasn't losing my mind. I was finding my mind. I was creating. Here's what I was doing. I was making up my mind. I was making up my mind. Okay, because I'd allowed someone else to make up my mind up to that point. The Matrix. So that helps. No worries.
One more question.
Yeah, we do one more.
Who's here in the States? You guys know that we have our diamond call tonight, right? How many of you do have guests on the line tonight at 8 o'clock? And as a matter of fact, you got 4 hours for you to get guests on the line. You can get your brick tonight. I find it funny, Jake. We do these calls and we tell them exactly what they need to do. And instead of them jumping off the call and using this energy that they've gotten from the call into becoming the brick, into, you know, getting their first brick done, right? Because they're on that frequency now, because of what they just heard. People choose, once again, you're choosing to pass over opportunities repeatedly, hourly, every single minute.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So somebody said me or no?
I think Anina.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you got your camera on. 2 seconds. Anina, go on, unmute. You can now.
Atamari, good morning, you two and everyone else. Thank you so much for this morning's call. My question is with regards to surrounding yourself with the right environment. So part of my life is I work in traditional Indigenous healing mode. So the people that I work with are not on the same frequency. Now, I believe that I don't allow it to impact my own energy levels. I suppose, how do I make sure that that is not impacting, because I haven't got the results that I'm getting? So what am I not doing? Is it because I've been writing, it's like I'm in this space and then also in the healing space of
Anina,
Yeah.
how do you know that you haven't got the results? So what I'm saying is, why would you speak that? How do you know that tomorrow you aren't going to get 10 people message you saying, I want to sign up to Elevate? That's what we do. We curse the situation. When we don't look at the situation, we look at the imagination. So how do you know that the results aren't around the corner? That's the cool thing about it.
I know.
How do you know? So don't dig up the seed. Get onto the frequency of, I already have it. You already have it. Don't dig up the seed. Write down every morning. Write down every morning who you are, and that's it. Leave it at that. Okay. And any thought that comes out, like, just because I know you've been thinking about it, that's why you've asked the question. I'm not sure if you got anything to say about that, but
No, that was right there on the spot. I would have said the same thing. Yeah, that was
guys,
good.
you're close. You've got it. Just accept it. All right, Desi, thank you so much.
Thank you. That was amazing.
God
Love
bless.
you guys.
Speak
Let's
soon.
get it.
Bye-bye.